right, guys. Welcome to the Hard Way Pod. For the listeners, I've got Mitchell Lamar, stand-up
Hello.
comedian, podcaster, producer, etc. Chandler Watson, comedian, artist, photographer.
Yes.
Um, if you guys haven't listened to the pod, Chandler, I think you said you were listening to the most recent ones. Mitchell, you're aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
The hard way, learning from your mistakes, learning things the hard way. But we've pivoted to all Black guests to have race discussions, given our crazy ass state of the world right now, basically, with this political revolution we've got going on. And I like to ask the guests first what your thoughts are on me, a white woman who hasn't really dealt with racism, doing something like this, and be honest.
Like, why? Like, how do we feel?
Yes.
I think it's cool.
Okay.
I think it doesn't have to be this way, but I guess.
Oh, you're saying you're like
this,
shouldn't have had to put your podcast like this, but
no, but it's like I think it's cool that it's like you're giving a platform for
for
to share our
amplify
stories.
the Black voices and stories. Yeah, that's the whole thing too. Is I think because I had paused it anyway just during COVID, and because I was like, just not really feeling it, and then I thought these are kind of things that I want to hear about and stories that I want to learn about, and even just the last podcast that was released. I find myself during the podcast making mistakes, even as an ally, that I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have said that. Like, I think I was talking to Robin / Coco Lee, and I was trying to, like, we were talking about the difference between the way people speak and how there's like racism in the Black community because if you sound too white or whatever. And I was trying the best way possible to explain that she doesn't sound white without sounding racist and without saying something stupid. And I just failed miserably because I was like, you've got that like strong, sassy Black woman voice. And then I was like, why'd you say that? That's like not the thing to say. Because then I heard someone else say something about like using the word sassy. And I'm like, yeah, that's like a stereotypical trope. And she wasn't mad at me and she knows me, but it's just one of those things that when you really think about it, you're like, figure out what, if you even needed to say this to begin with, how did that help? That I was like, you don't sound white, as if it's, I don't know the answer, but I know that sounded dumb as shit when I said it. So Chandler,
what are you reflected on it?
Yeah. what are your thoughts on me using the Hard Way Pod for amplifying Black voices?
Yo, culture thief ass. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, it's cool because as I've heard people say, you didn't have to do this shit.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking the time out to educate yourself. So
yeah,
and let folks speak their fucking mind. So that's cool as shit to me.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I want, because I don't want to speak for you, but I also know that as much as I can learn and try to understand that just having not lived the experience, I'm gonna make mistakes, and if I do it in real time and like people call me out on it, I think that's helpful too. So
right.
I will say that I like. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I grew up in like a white neighborhood, and it's funny. Like I see like this is the best way I can communicate it. I see both sides. So it's like I get the like, oh, you talk white, but it's like I grew up like in a white neighborhood. So and then like I would say like I had a lot of majority white friends. So it's like when like something happens, I'll be like, oh my God, I understand what you're saying. But then it's just like, I understand the bigger picture and it's like, oh no, that's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But right.
Well, that's what I'm thinking will be really interesting about having like Chandler. Did you grow up in a predominantly white neighborhood?
I did.
You did?
It's like first it was Air Force Base. So it's like growing up on that, everybody's pretty open-minded because it's like you're moving a lot, and then they're meeting people from all cultures. And then I moved to Oklahoma, and it was all white and just strange.
Yeah.
very strange.
But even beforehand, like just discussing and trying to figure out guests like wanting to be together or wanting to be alone, and Mitchell, you saying that you wanted sort of a different perspective too, and feeling like I remember you saying that you haven't felt that you personally experienced a ton of racism yourself in a way that was like extreme. And I saw Chandler post on Facebook like several like minor things that he was doing that were not wrong at all, yet being pulled over. And I was like, this should be an interesting comparison. But also I didn't realize both of you have military background. So that's interesting as well.
Yeah. I had like, not, I guess not the reverse of it. Cause I mean, like, obviously like my family is Black. Yeah. So I have like roots in that.
Yeah.
With that, you know, like cultural perspective. But once I joined the military, that like, even like opened my mind even more to understanding others. But I will say that I'm pretty naive. I'm stupid as fuck. So there's a possibility that I've experienced it and just like brush it off as that person, not like a whole race or culture being
that's
oppressive towards me.
Yeah. Why do you say that? Well,
I mean, if you're just seeing it as that person, it seems better.
No, it is better. But that's what everybody should be doing mostly. But I guess like some people, maybe if you get the same experience from that same person over and over, then you just like attribute it to the whole culture, which is that not just racism in itself, just making the assumption based on the color of the skin. Much. Yeah, because you've dealt with that. But then I also see on the other side of the coin, Mitchell, like you brushing it off, because I've heard that a lot too, where people are like, oh, that's just like because they don't know any better, where it's almost like you give people a pass because you're so used to the norm being a little bit racist that you're kind of like you've adapted to dealing with it so well that it doesn't bother you, which I don't know.
Or it's also that that, and then also like I am lighter skinned, so like there is that like treatment that it comes with that too. That's different.
Yeah, is that something that I mean, I've definitely heard that, where it's like if you're lighter skinned, you get a little bit more of a pass, and people will say shit like, oh, well, at least you're light skinned, you know, like crazy shit like that.
That's in all cultures though, not just Black folks. That really? Is in like Latin cultures, Asian cultures. The darker you are, the harder you gotta fucking work, the less you get. Yeah, and like I know in Asia they got bleaching agents because they want to bleach themselves, so they're like lighter skin. So
that's why they have umbrellas and stuff.
Yeah, nobody wants to be dark. It's weird. It's like shit's strange.
Except for like really white girls that are like, I need a tan, and they're like bronzing with like the it's like 4% SPF, but it's like just oil. Yeah. Right. Which one is it? Is dark better or is light better? Can we just what is that? Yeah, but that's a really strange but interesting thing that seems to be a popular opinion. And Mitchell, how is it like? Because to me, when I think about it, and the light skin thing, I get it makes sense because a lot of people have said that. But I just think about you also being gay in the military and Black. That how could you not come out of there just like swinging, like fuck these people, you know? Like given the rules of like don't ask, don't tell, and things like that, like. How are you not more mad? I'm not like trying to rile people up. I'm just curious.
No, you're good. I feel it. I think it's also just my outlook. It's so, and I'll be honest, I'm repressing all that anger. I'm repressing it, and it's probably going to come out when I go through like a really hard trauma in my life. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited.
You're like Jessica, I'm mad. It just hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't come out yet. Oh, you know, it comes out in moments.
Yeah.
You know, but
I've seen it during stand-up.
Huh?
I've seen it during stand-up where you're very calm and you're very this, and then all of a sudden you start flipping out, and it's like, whoa. Yeah.
What is happening? I do get people that are like, Mitchell, when I see your stuff online, it's like you're in a manic episode. And I think when I go full manic, that's when it's gonna just blossom. But no, but like
face. He says when it's gonna blossom.
But I repressed it. No, I don't repress it. I'm very like positive. I feel like I have to keep that like going because I feel like that helps. It connects with other people and it helps us like. Is that a bullshit answer? So some people tell me I talk like a politician.
No, there's no.
But it's true. I have to stay positive. I get it.
Yeah, there's no bullshit answer. I don't think, but there is a level of like going to the positivity thing and keeping positive. I think there's a thin line between, sort of having a good perspective and trying to see the bright side of things, which I found just in myself, like when I learned that everything is my fault that happens to me, like even if it isn't, it's how you react to it, that sort of thing, because when I found myself in the mind space of, oh man, this thing keeps happening to me, and then it's like it's almost like a snowball effect. When something bad happens, like 5 more bad things happen, almost as if you energetically start attracting it. But then if you start taking responsibility for how you're acting every time something shitty happens, weirdly enough, it starts to either go away. It changes. Like I've watched it change, and I've like slow like mentioned it in passing and in stand up and whatever when I've just taking responsibility for saying like fuck it, if this is what it is, and not caring as much has just by default made things easier is one thing. But then there's other things where you're lying to yourself and you're suppressing it, and that's like the type of shit that I think will give you cancer, because you're just like holding it in and it manifests physically.
You're right. That's a really good point. I do think about that from time to time, and then I repress it again.
Yeah. But do you have an example of things that you've repressed that you're waiting to blossom? And it like,
oh no,
you're like, please pass the mic to Chandler, Jess.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
I guess things that I've experienced in the military that I have seen, and then just like when I read about like other people's experiences in the past about things that happen, it's crazy. It's honestly, I feel like there's so much fighting that is just useless to me. I feel like we're at a point now where we can like actually reach some kind of post-scarcity world. Is that how you say it? But we're just like, but I guess it's that animal side, is that human or animal side, where we kind of have that greed, those 7 sins.
It's that primal, the primal like selfishness, I guess, that people have. Yeah. And the military, I feel like it's like it's definitely tapping into that side of that primal side, war and all that. Yeah.
And it's nasty. It's dirty. And I don't like it. And I'm very anti-war. I will say that.
Yeah.
Right. It's a hot take.
Yeah, but you went into the military, so it's like you have even more of a reason.
Yeah.
To be anti-war. You didn't come out like, actually that was great. Who comes back from war and says that was a fun time.
Some
right.
Crazy
it's silly.
People.
Yeah.
And then also, just the racial tensions. I think that comes back to, what do I really think? I feel like my mind is like blocking it. It's like I want to say something, but I don't know what to say.
Is he going to blossom on the podcast?
Yeah. Bro, I just leaned into the screen. I'm like, yo, what are you about to say?
Yeah.
But but I feel like the military, that's one thing. I feel like that, like the war thing, that makes me more angry than the racial stuff, because I feel like the racial stuff, to me, it's all a distraction to something else.
Word. All right.
Okay.
I feel that.
You want to expand on that, Chandler?
Yeah, because it's like, to see the issue in America is like, you got to look at where the power is coming from, and that's from the rich. It's like what is it? They wage these wars just so they can make money, and then they want to make money, and there's something else in it too. But for the most part, let's look at it for the money aspect. Hence, there's another opium epidemic right now, right? Like fucking kids popping pills like motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like, then they just send people over there to cover up the poppy fields to protect those shits too.
Yeah.
at the same time offering all these contracts to these fucking companies like Halliburton, build these fucking multi-million-dollar fucking ships that went unused. So it's just another way to funnel tax dollars out of the people into that. But in the meantime, they want to keep us divided by pushing this race shit.
Yeah.
It's like the Willie Lynch letters. I don't know if you know anything about it.
I don't, but tell me.
It's pretty much the separation. It's how to make a slave, how to make a slave. And in the letter, he says, "You never heard this, Mitchell?"
No.
Is this
your face just said it all?
Is this the breaking down before you're sent over thing? Is that how?
No, it happened in America.
Okay.
But Willie Lynch is his name, hence the term Lynch. But I'll try to paraphrase it. But how to break a slave, make a slave, same thing. Is you take the biggest, blackest man you see, you tar and feather him in front of everybody, and then you have him pulled apart by a horse. And this right there, that right there scars everybody's mind. Hence, the mother protects the son. She never really wants the son to grow up and become a man. And then the women become stronger in that sense. It's like a mental breaking. You see that happen if you're too strong, too free in a sense. Yeah. And then from there, it's like it goes to separation. You want to separate the old from the young, the lighter skin from the darker skin. Hence, house nigga.
Oh, you just froze.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, you're back. You said house and word.
Yeah, my bad. House Negroes from the
You're allowed to
Negroes.
Say whatever you want. I'm just not going to repeat
I know.
it.
But it's all a system, because even at the same time, he was saying you got to convince the poor white people that they're better than the black people.
Yeah.
When in reality, we're all the same. But he said you got to convince them of that. Hence, they'll do their job by watching them and not look at who's getting the profit.
Yeah. Didn't they do that with, was it the Irish or the Polish? There was like a group of white people that were like indentured servants.
I know the Irish were.
Yeah. And like at first they were like essentially slaves too. But then, like you said, they were like, but you're better slaves than these black people. And so then there's kind of a hierarchy created with that, which is crazy. And I do like, and to this whole point about like the war being the biggest problem, like, I don't know, I saw like Bernie tweet about like what the Republicans were trying to put in the COVID relief bill, and it was like
jet fighters.
It was a ton of war shit. It was like here's more bases, more tanks, more whatever, and it's like, wait, why do we need that? Well, because they're going to war against the people now. But interestingly enough, like, we've always gotten everybody else's business because we're like, oh, we're just trying to protect you and give you democracy. Oh, we're just trying to do this. But even though it's like, we are also trying to, take your oil or take this or that. And it's like, we have the president tweeting, we should delay the elections because it's not going to be fair. And then which is absurd. And then the next day, the press secretary is like, Hong Kong is delaying their elections. That is not democratic. That is not. And I'm like, do you guys not see how hypocritical and insane you sound?
Wow.
No, cognitive dissonance? Is that the term?
Yes. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy in this country.
Yeah.
World.
Yeah. And I feel like we're being gaslighted a lot too. And so it's kind of having been like in a relationship where I was gaslighted, that shit will drive you crazy and make you question your own sanity. So you kind of have to always be checking yourself and be like, wait, am I insane? Did I hear this right? And then they change the story, and like, luckily there's screenshots, and luckily there's things that you can go back to and reprove once people delete. But like, but even then, there's so many people creating fake memes and fake things that I find myself, I'm like, before I get mad, let me look this up and make sure it's real,
right.
Because I don't want to support the fake shit that then, keeps the bad narrative going.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever read 1984?
1984, yes.
Orwell?
Yes.
It's like there's that department that updates the news.
Yes.
Kind of like what you're saying. It's like, it's crazy how much the world is like that now. One aspect. Yeah. But
no, it's
like,
it feels a lot like that. And it's like, I'm just waiting because they're already listening. And this sounds like crazy conspiracy talk, but the unfortunate part is that it's happening. Like, how often, like, I swear to God, I mentioned like constipation or something the other day. I'm like, oh, are you constipated or whatever? Like, I'm on the phone with my mom. cut to the rest of the day, all my commercials, because I have like the digital cable package, whatever, with Spectrum, Metamucil, whatever, like all fiber.
That shit is insane.
And I'm like, people are worried about TikTok. I'm like, my phone's listening to me, my TV is listening to me. It's not even a smart TV. Like it's a Roku, like everything that has the digital things. And another like small example, I is the like Amazon, which I totally am boycotting because fuck Jeff Bezos. But
agreed.
But the last thing I ordered, but like in the beginning of the quarantine months ago, like I had like some tendonitis issues from being on the computer too much, and so I ordered these like little weights because I started going to physical therapy for a couple weeks, and they were like, sorry, canceled COVID, but I was like, oh, I'll do them at home. So I ordered like a set of like 5 3 and 1 pound weights just to like strengthen my wrists, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, it took like months to get it, but then when I got it, it was just the rack with no weights, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. And I went back to the original order, and it's just the rack. And I'm like, I fucking know that when I ordered this thing,
you.
Yeah, they switched it. And I look at the reviews, and the reviews before were good. And it was the same. Like I didn't like search it again. I went to my actual order. There were weights in that picture, number one. And it said weights were included. And the next thing you know, when I go back, once I get it, it's 1, too late to return it because it's been too many months. 2, it's just a rack. And I'm like, I know for a fact that I wouldn't have ordered a rack with a 1-star review, or everybody else is like, just a rack, no weights, just a rack, no weights. They changed the picture. Everybody's like, they changed the picture on us. And so I was like, Jeff Bezos, you piece of shit. You're even worse than I thought. Like, you're letting people buy something and then changing the actual thing after the fact. That's like such a small example of how easy it is to dupe you. And it's like, sure, it was only $15 or whatever, but that's like $15 I'll never get back. And I was like, that's a little cheap, but it was like,
and now you got some fucking rack you don't use.
Yeah, now I threw it out because I can't. I'm like, I have no weights. What is this?
And now it's in the ocean. No, I'm kidding.
I did recycle it because it was plastic.
All right, good.
If they even do that
kind of incident will make me feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Like wait, what happened? And it got switched, and I would think, oh my God, that would make me lose my mind.
I thought I was going insane until I was like, there's no way, Jessica, you would have ordered a rack with no pictures in it. Like I've ordered on like with no pictures of weights. Like I read the description, it was like weights included. And then when I went back and the picture was changed, and then I saw all the reviews, everybody's like, they switched it on us. There used to be weights in this picture. And I was like, thank God. And so then I left a comment too. And I was like, I blame Jeff Bezos. And I was like, there wasn't weights in this picture. Because I was like, if I didn't see other people saying that, I would have just thought, wow, you were like, you really missed that one. But I was just like, no, you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have ordered it without the weights.
For sure.
But you almost described what it's like being black.
Almost.
It's like, wait, I thought we were free.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, and you see all these metaphor. Like indications, and then you're like, uh-oh, am I going nuts? Yeah.
But the biggest scam is nobody's free in this country.
Right.
And I try to fucking point that out because Oklahoma, red fucking state. Holy shit, it's like the land of the closed-minded, and I'm like, it's insane.
Where in Oklahoma?
Oklahoma City.
Is that where you are?
That's where I'm at.
Oh my God. You decided to just hop on over to the most racist state during this? Way to go, buddy.
Second most racist.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I would say Mississippi, right? Is that the first? Yeah.
I don't know.
You said you're in Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went there once, like 2 years ago, with a friend to go see his other friends. I didn't know it was racist.
Well, where were you at? Because some places it's decent, but
we were like in the I guess it was mainly probably the more
open-minded spot. Was it like the Passaic or
downtown?
The Plaza? Okay, I mean nobody's gonna just straight up. It's like it's racist, but it's like it's becoming like one of those subtle racist cities, kind of like LA or like Seattle or San Francisco. It's like it's kind of being masked, but it's not being masked.
Yeah.
Where it's like gentrified, so you have liberal people that are like supposedly not racist, but then they don't realize how they're contributing to racism. Is that what you mean?
Except for here, you'll definitely see people toting around a Confederate flag on the back of their truck.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
And it does
I remember,
matter,
what
right?
is it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I insist.
I'm just thinking about like just in general, like, because growing up in South Florida, I was like, oh, everybody's pretty open here, but then you go like, and then I go to college in Orlando, Florida, and it's like a college town. So again, people are pretty open. But if you drive like 20 minutes in any direction, suddenly you're in Christmas, Florida, and it's like backwoods, like trucks could, they wouldn't have Confederate, but they'd definitely be like super religious, and you would not want to be, you wouldn't want to be gay or black in that area probably, because they're going to be like, what are you doing here? That kind of shit. And it's like, wow, this is so close to this like open area, and this is suddenly very closed-minded. It's like going down that like wrong alley, in the city, that it's like, this is the bad street where you might get killed. Yeah.
Right. I could say I am very lucky to be alive with a lot of places I go just by myself to take photos. I'm lucky. That's all I can say.
You can't say more.
Even when I go biking. Yeah, well, I can't say more. Even when I go biking out here, like down these backcountry roads, for a while I was nervous and I didn't do it because like somebody was like, I guess somebody was saying some shit about me biking at the local gas station. And my daddy told me, he's like, yeah, watch out. And I was like, oh shit.
So it got back to him that you were biking?
Like, yeah, it's like, I don't know what is being said, but somebody's like, there's a suspicious man on a bike. And I'm like, oh, I bike that way.
Oh no.
So I had to call the cops to let them know, which is insane. I'm like, yo, I bike this way.
Yeah.
It's like, so if anything ever happens, you have it on record that I ride my fucking bike this way.
Yes. Oh my gosh. See, that's crazy. And I saw this, it was a veteran, and like big black guy who likes to go running, but constantly would have like the cops being called because of suspicion. Like, that's like, to me, the most scary, suspicious man doing something. It's like, okay, that means like black guy somewhere, white lady is scared probably.
Right.
And he literally, one, would let his friend know what time he goes, but two, would let the cops know, like, I go running every day and I still wear he still wears his freaking bulletproof armor when he's running, just in case, but he has to let them know that he's going to be running, because if they see,
I don't blame him.
Yeah, but that's so that's crazy. And
even like subtle things, it's like whenever I ride my bike, if I'm riding far into the city, I put my wallet in my fucking front pocket, because my friend, she's like, why don't you just put it in your backpack? And I'm like, because I'm black.
Oh, and if you can't reach in your back, you can't reach in your back
fuck
pocket.
No. It's like, I ain't reaching for shit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm on a bike.
Yeah.
Those scary men on bikes, you got to get them, Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So.
But even like, what is it, taking photos is like, I've gone to some places, actually 2 miles from where I'm at right now. I still bike by there just because it's like a fuck you to them. But I went back on this abandoned land. It's like behind this huge abandoned barn. And I go back and I'm taking all these photos and whatnot. And it's like some shit that you would see in a movie. And then I just hear this screen door like slam shut, and this woman's going like, what are you doing out here? And I was like, oh, fuck. And I just kind of hold up my camera and I'm like, I better get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
So I start going back towards my car, and I hear an engine start up on the truck, hear tires burn out. And then come to find out, they just was wondering what I was doing on their quote unquote land, but they didn't have any signs saying it was their land. And I thought I was about to get shot. And like the dude was like, well, you're either giving me your license plate number or we're calling the cops. And I'm like, yo, call the fucking cops.
Oh my
God. And it's got to be a fucked up situation if I'm saying call the cops.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you're like, I'm more afraid of this man than the other man with the gun, because this man probably also has a gun, but no,
Everybody has a gun out here, by the way. It's open carry state.
Yeah.
Like,
fine.
Yeah, so there's that too.
Do you have a gun?
No. And I've been thinking more and more about getting one, but then I feel like I've lost a part of my humanity in a sense. But if somebody wants to try me, just fisticuffs, I'm down.
Yeah.
See, that's a lot of Oh, what were you about to say?
That's the tough part. Like, is that what's really frustrating is seeing people not go toe to toe with it. They're like, they're gonna use a gun on somebody that doesn't have one. But then it's also like, maybe this person had a gun. That's why I used my gun. It's like, if you're an open carry, you should be allowed to have one. But obviously there's a clear double standard with that, which we've seen with, the protests of, I don't want to wear a mask, I want a haircut, from the Republican Trump supporter side a week before George Floyd gets killed, right? They're carrying big ass guns and nothing's happening to them. But could you imagine how much worse it would be if like all the protesters for BLM had guns? And they did have like certain situations where they did come out. I think it was like a week or so ago, and some people did get shot. But
down in Austin.
Yeah, where it was like the large group that came out, and they're like, we don't know why they accidentally got shot. They kept saying, but which is that's cute. But as far as like guns, like I've never been a gun person. I've always like been anti-gun as far as like me wanting one. But I've been okay with like, hey, if you're comfortable, if you like guns and you do it safely and answer the right questions, fine by me. Just don't be an asshole with it. But like this whole climate now has me being like, oh my God, well, now that the government is turning on us, do I need a gun? And I'm like, I don't want a gun, but
I mean, I'm for sure gonna get a couple.
But to me, like, I'm like, I'm handing that off to the boyfriend and being like, you're getting a gun, because I'd be probably shooting myself by mistake. But you're also
that's why you need training.
It's going to be
Everybody
his responsibility.
But I'm like, but you need to train me how to use it, because I want to know how to use it if I need to use it. And I'm like, I never thought I'd hear myself say that, but it's getting a little crazy out here.
A little hairy.
Yeah.
I have a few. That's a few is a lot. I have 2 guns.
Yeah. 2 is a couple, a few is 3 or more.
Yeah, that's it. I have a couple, and I'm anti-gun, but I have them. Have y'all heard of the brand Nerf?
Nerf, yes.
So brand what?
Yeah, Nerf.
Oh,
yes.
This dude.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Those, I really enjoy those brands, and I think that'll help me when the government rises up.
Are you talking about a literal squirt gun or those Nerf guns with the foam pellets right now?
Yes. Everyone laughs when I tell them this.
Because it's hilarious and it will not help you at all. But then again, I don't know that a regular one would, because look at the size of the militia that comes at us.
You got a super soaker filled with some acid.
Yeah. Oh,
just saying.
That's right.
LSD?
Shoot some up. Yes.
Oh, That's a lot of LSD.
Yeah, right.
It is. And I would just shoot myself, to be honest.
Yeah, right. This is how I get through this.
That's how we change. That's how we help change the world. All the guns are switched out for Nerf water guns with acid laced in them.
Yes,
I'm about that life.
I saw a funny ass video where like it was like a BLM protest, and like the dudes had water guns and were shooting them at the cops to get back in the car, and the cops were like, no, and going back inside.
Oh, shit.
And it was really funny. I was like, that is hilarious. It worked, and you just used water guns because they didn't want to get wet.
And that's nonviolent, right?
Yes, it's nonviolent.
I mean, what they could say it's some type of, what is it, biological shit. It's like, what is it, whenever you spit on somebody, or you know what I mean, or you throw a couple. Because like cops are bitch made enough to do that.
Yeah, they would. Well, that's why they're like, there's a tampon in my Starbucks coffee, and it's like, that is one big tampon, buddy. That is not really a tampon.
Biological warfare.
But like, there's crazy Karens going around coughing in people's faces because they're not wearing masks. Like that's biological warfare. I feel like, because you're like giving somebody.
I've never hit a woman before, but I tell you what. If a Karen coughs in my face, I will probably, I don't know what will happen.
Well, I feel like I'm concerned. I'm like, don't die,
Chandler.
Chandler,
What sucks
please.
about this whole COVID thing is that, being coughed in my face is actually one of my fetishes.
What?
And I'm just kidding.
It's like, I would have sex with her immediately, even though I'm gay, if she coughed in my face, because I love that shit.
Oh, that is.
If Rihanna had COVID and I would allow her to cough in my face.
Oh my God.
That is fucking.
Just do it in this. Just do it in the safety of your own home with your COVID quarantine partner.
I'm safe.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, y'all.
No, but yeah, I'm like worried that there's an old dude in my building down the hall died the other day.
What?
And
from what?
I don't know, but he was old, and he was a MAGA hat guy, and he was very nice, but he was always wearing his MAGA hat and never wearing a mask.
Wait, he died in the building?
Yes. And so here, check this out. So the other day, and because fuck the cops, I was on my balcony smoking, and I heard them down there just like hanging around, and they were kind of like not in front of my building. They just pulled up, and they were on their little like walkie talkies or whatever, being like, this code, that code. And so I didn't know what they were up to, and I had to walk the dog. So I was like, damn it, I don't want to go down there and interact with them or have them like come here to fight somebody or do something and accidentally get shot because I'm walking the dog and I'm nearby. So I was like, I gotta walk the dog. It's annoying me. So I go down, and when I went out, like the door was going to close behind me, and they're like, oh, can you hold it? And I was like, no. And I let it close. And then the cop was like, can you give me the code to the door? And I was like, no. And he was like, can you open the door for me? Yes or no? And I was like, no. And then I just walked away. I was like, did somebody call you? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, well, then why didn't they give you the code? Why aren't they letting you in? Because like everything was so silent up here. It would be one thing if I heard like maniacal screaming and these cops had a sense of urgency, but they were essentially just loitering in front of my building talking shit and then trying to get in and asking me for my code. So I said no. And then I was like, well, I'm going to walk this dog, and if they follow me in when I go back in, there's not much I could really do about that, I guess. But
call the cops on the cops.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So by the time, like 5 minutes later, by the time I get back, they're already gone. And I'm like, okay, must not have been that important. But now my landlord is like sticking his head around, looking around. I was like, did you call the cops? He was like, yeah. Where are they? I was like, they were here. I didn't let them in because I don't know. I thought they were doing some fucking weird shit and I didn't want to. And so I was like, I figured, he's like, damn, they were supposed to call me when they got here. I was like, well, they waited 5 minutes and failed and just left. And then he's like, yeah, I think that my neighbor is dead. I haven't heard from him in a week, and there's a weird smell coming from the fucking apartment. And I was like, what? And then he's like, yeah, well, my friend just got here. He's a locksmith, whatever. And so then he goes in, breaks in, and the guy is dead in there for a week now.
That's sad.
I know. And I just saw him a week or so ago. He was wearing a mask, not his MAGA hat. And I was like, maybe he turned. But all I could think is that he was like old already. So if he'd been walking around this whole time, like not being safe, and just knowing that he was like a MAGA person, like probably just wasn't really thinking about it. Like he was probably already unhealthy, but that's my theory of how he died. And then the most fucked up part, other than this man being dead in the apartment, was I heard a bunch of like spraying, and I was like, oh, I'm assuming it's Lysol. But then I hear the cops joking around because they're just like loitering around all night, going in and out for whatever reason. I guess they have to wait for specific authorities to come get him. Because he was already dead, and I guess an ambulance can't just take a dead person. And you hear them like laughing and joking about it and talking about how the guy was spraying Raid because of bugs.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
Fuck.
But they thought it was fucking hilarious. And I was like, I'm really glad that I didn't let you assholes in, because you were really not helpful anyway and completely unnecessary, because the landlord made it in with a locksmith.
To die alone?
Yeah, I know. But this guy's in there by himself, and you guys think it's fucking funny? Fuck you.
Yeah, where's the compassion at?
I know.
It's like they couldn't wait like at least till they're back in the car to make a joke. It's like, what the fuck?
No.
Right, like everyone else does. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, but really, like I was Be a human and wait till you get in the car to make fun of the guy who died. Jeez.
Oh my God, Jessica.
Yeah.
That means your building is haunted by a MAGA supporter.
Oh no, Mitchell.
Can you imagine being haunted by a MAGA, a Trump supporter?
No. Well, now I'm gonna find out, I guess.
Vote for Trump.
Oh my God. I think he changed his mind at the last minute. Like I told you last time I saw him, he wasn't wearing that hat and he was wearing a mask.
My God. So he changed at the last minute. That's good.
I know, but It was
so we
late.
had like a hero's journey, like right before he died.
Yeah, and it was so sad because he was asking me about my car. He's like, I want to get one of those, and I'm like, oh, cool. He was so sweet. I felt so bad. And those dickhead cops making fun of him. This is why I fuck the police. You guys suck on all different levels.
Right.
All different levels.
That's crazy. What? Has anyone moved in that room yet?
No, this was like literally.
It's been a week, right?
This happened like 3 days ago. So
someone just moved. It's already clean and shit.
Yeah, he was in there since last Saturday, and then they found him on Friday, I guess. So it was like nearly a week, and I didn't see them take him out, so I don't know when they did that.
I always think about this, like if I were to die alone, like how long would it take for people to find me?
I know. Well, aren't there people that you talk to every day?
Oh, true. I do live with my roommate, so I guess when like rent is ready, then
well,
that's when. Okay.
I'm assuming we're fast forwarding to being old because my fucking asshole neighbor, she was like, "Oh my God, he died alone. What if you and Travis, like, what if he gets old and dies before you? Then that's gonna be you. At least I have a daughter." I was like, "Bitch, why are you saying that?" Well, she's the worst. She's just always just saying the worst shit, and I'm like, "What is wrong with you? Why do you live next door to me?"
Some people, the nerve.
I'm like, yes, I'm also afraid of dying alone. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh my God. There's got to be relatable. There's got to be a plan in place for that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just like thinking.
Okay, so Mitchell.
Yes.
Since you're saying you're holding in all of your rage and waiting for it to blossom somehow.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. I feel like there's a story in there, but I don't want to force anything out of you. Like because there's.
I don't know if I can say it.
You can.
Sure you could.
Or don't. You can.
I need to find like a metaphor. Like I need to find a story that's like a metaphor.
To me, your fear and even talking about it just shows you've experienced racism in general, or some sort of oppression where you're afraid to talk freely.
Well, it's like we signed like a contract in the military, or it's like we didn't sign
NDA.
A contract.
Is it like an NDA, non-disclosure?
It was like a top secret thing.
I don't like that.
Wait, what branch were you in?
It's a training. You could look it up. It's called SEER.
SEER?
Yeah, it's a like place where you go to.
Like
it's like survival,
like searing a steak, or like a seer, like who sees things.
Oh, like CERE.
Okay.
It's like survival, evasion, resistance, and education. I don't know. that last E sounds wrong.
I love that education is the one that you don't remember, and you're like, if you had education, you would have remembered.
Yeah. I blame South Carolina education.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But it's pretty much you're learning how to. I think you're just learning how to survive when your plane goes down in enemy territory.
Oh.
So what is like trains you to like push your emotions to the side and just live?
Yeah. Let's just say that. Oh, there we go. That answers it.
Yes.
I completely understand. I understand.
Survival.
All right.
Yeah, and I think that has like I should probably talk about this more on stage. But it's kind of like I think that experience along with I think that experience is probably like I probably kept that with me.
Yeah, you brought it back.
Because it's it's hard to like after there's residue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys cry or not. Like, are you guys criers?
I used to be a crier because I was raised to not be a crier. Like my family was very like, you don't cry, you get through it, you do whatever. And like, if I called like my mom like crying, she'd be like, all right, you need to get your shit together. Call me back when you've like centered. Everybody was very like low emotion, and because I would be the one that would be loud or whatever, I was dramatic. So there was always like a quelling of emotion, whether it was anger or tears. And I think at some point, maybe like in my 30s or whatever, when I first hit 30s, I got over that. And now I'm like watching shit on TV. It's like if something good's happening, I'm crying. Something bad's happening, I'm crying. I'm like, yeah. Like I'll watch, like, so I'll cry watching like videos of people, getting hurt right now. Like it'll make me cry. Like I'm definitely much more of a crier. So like when I think about like, AOC on the podium being like, this man talked to me like that. I'm like, if that were me, I'd be like, this man talked to me like that. And I don't like it. And I would probably just started crying. And I don't like that. I wish I had more of my stoicism from before.
Yeah. That's the word, stoic, like a stoic.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I am. I don't cry because it's repressed. But I have those moments where it's like, oh wow, like I think when it's like when I think too much about the state of the world,
makes you want to cry, but you hold it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to force.
I will say I haven't cried in a long time though.
How long?
Word.
I don't know. It definitely been a while, but I definitely, I do. From the hospital, I do have antidepressants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to cry when you're on antidepressants. I've been on those before, and I've been like, I want to cry. Why can't I? Sort of thing.
What do those make you feel like?
At least for
Huh?
Go ahead. He said, what do they make you feel like?
It's just muted in a sense. Yeah. But I try to find balance where I find like those slivers of openness and emotion.
Yeah.
That sounds so vague. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not really.
No, you're good, dude.
Because that's what I felt like. I remember when I took antidepressants briefly. I think I was on them for like 6 months because I had been told, because I have dealt with depression and anxiety in my life, and it's sometimes worse, sometimes better. And doctors are always real quick to try and give you antidepressants, but my family was very anti, first of all, believing that mental health issues were a thing. They were just like, you're just being a little bitch. Two, we're like afraid to put me on it. So I'm glad that I didn't really get on things till later. But when I did, I remember feeling like jilted because I was like, wait, I thought I was like automatically going to be happy all of a sudden and everything was going to be normal. But instead it was like this like medium ground of where I wasn't like really upset, but I was never really very happy. And if I was like sad, I was like, normally I'd be crying right now, but I can't, and I hated it. So I was like, I'd rather be able to be like crying over some bullshit than not at all.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, like, yeah. So, yeah, I try to find balance in when I use them. The military, they're probably going to be like, Mitchell, you need to.
Well, are you
okay?
Mitchell, you all right?
I'm ending.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Let's turn his camera off.
Oh, that's funny.
It's
too much.
Oh shit. Oh, that was funny.
Oh man. Well, it's always tough. I found that my preference is therapists over medicine, but I think everybody has their own thing. And I still have Valium, which I was off of for several years, even though I was on it for like 15 for panic attacks. I got off it for like 3 years, and I just recently started taking it again in the past few months because I've started feeling so anxious that it's like, okay, I'm on the brink of panicking, and I hate that.
What happens when you panic?
There's different levels. Sometimes
for me, it feels like I'm dying.
Yeah, exactly. But like, there's sometimes when like, and one of the things I went through when I was getting off it last was walking through that dying feeling. To know that because you always make it and then you feel like an asshole. But like I feel like I'm going to die out of nowhere. And then I usually like my hands start shaking. If it gets worse, like they'll start to tense up and clamp up and it'll feel like my face is going numb and like everything is going numb. And then I'll start crying. And usually I'll sit on the ground and just be like, oh my God. And then like, once it like sort of starts to pass, I'll realize, oh, you're panicking, and this happened to me. Like, one of the last worst ones was at the airport, and I was like about to get in the line to like bring my bag up, and I like tweaked my back, which like one of my triggers for anxiety is health issues, because I don't want to go to the doctor because it ends up costing a lot of money, and then it's like next thing you know, you get a bill for $5,000 because somebody talked to you for 5 minutes. And so so even though like I thought that I was there, you know, and I was like, it's fine, just get your bag to wherever, part of my brain was like, nope, you're gonna freak out, you know. And so of course I thought I was gonna die, and so I just sat down at the entryway to where everybody has to bring their bags in. So they're walking around me to go in.
Oh, snap.
And like some lady comes up and she's like, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm going to die. I'm dying. I'm going to die. And so then they call the fucking paramedics. And at that point I realized, oh, you're having a panic attack, but it's too late. I'm already like caused a scene. And now, I take my Valium, because that was when I was still on it. And then like, they're sticking the things to me. They're like, your heart rate's really elevated. Are you sure it's not something? I'm like, motherfuckers, I'm telling you, I'm having a panic attack. That's why it's happening. I figured it out.
Silly.
But at first I thought I was dying until a part of me started to realize it. And that's when you start to calm down. But there's like still a physical part that has to play out. And it's super embarrassing also at the airport.
Yeah.
So
the last big one I had was when I was working pre-COVID, and I was just like, I was serving, and it just came on. It just started, that scary feeling, that doom feeling. It like grows to a point where you got tunnel vision. It's like heart is pounding, and then it's like that moment where like, oh, okay, this is this is a panic attack. So it's like, then it's just writing it out, and then that's the annoying part where you're just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah, because the physical part takes over, and then you're like, oh, I have it, but like your body is still freaking out,
Yeah,
and that's so annoying, because like the logical part of your brain is looking at the other part like, what are you doing? And then you're kind of like
down. Right.
Yeah. Then you're like beating yourself up over it. The worst.
Yeah, mine were a result of the military.
I could imagine.
All right.
Like a PTSD.
Did you get deployed?
No, but that SEER training made me feel like I was.
Word.
That's what.
How long were you in?
About?
I was like 5 years, 9 months.
Oh wow.
Gotcha.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
What made you?
And then I got kicked out.
How'd you get kicked out? If you want to talk about it.
It's not really a long story, but it has to do with I guess it's like in the realm of weed and stuff like that.
Got caught with some drugs, and
I did not get caught. It's a long story.
It starts with, this isn't a long story. Right. It's a long story. Okay. For reasons we are unclear of, Mitchell has gotten kicked out.
He just gives the slightest of details, and then he's like, oh.
You know what?
But it was honorable. It was honorable.
Oh, that's good.
I have an honorable discharge.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
See, this.
But that's such a boring answer.
No. You don't have to look.
You're leaving the people wanting more. That's what you're doing.
You're leaving the people.
Because I want to know.
I know. You're leaving the people filling in the blanks here, Mitchell. And I'm just like, damn, what did they do to you that you can't even talk about it? They must have traumatized you over this 5.5 years.
Well, it's like, I feel stupid like when I look back, but it's also like an integrity thing when that moment happened. So I don't know. It's like, it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
That's what my life is.
Yeah.
What about y'all's? My whole life it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. There's definitely tons of mind fuck moments. And I mean, it's hard to admit when you've done stuff you're not proud of, but you also have to like look at the context and, realize, I don't know what exactly happened, but I don't know what it's like to go to the military. I believe
it was for drugs.
Yeah. I guessed that when you said it was drug related. But like, so what? Like, to me, it's like, dude, this is such a stressful situation. They're probably putting you through all these drills of like what could happen. It's like scuba diving. Like when I did like the scuba diving training, I'm like, I fucking hate that shit, because the whole training is them putting you through situations of what will go wrong if you're underwater. and it freaks you out. They're like, they rip your mask off and your
who's ripping off your mask when you swim?
Like when you're doing scuba diving training, they're like, they pull off all your stuff and you have to keep calm and get it back on, because if you shoot to the top, you're gonna die, you know.
Yeah.
And so there's like all these things, and it's like, I remember taking a class with 12 people. By the end, we were just doing it in a pool at first. I think 6 people quit because they couldn't get through the first part of like the chaos training or whatever, where it's like, if your mask happens to come off, or your what is it called? I forget now, because I hate scuba diving.
Respirator? Is it a respirator?
It's
rebreather.
It's there's initials for it. I want to say CBD, but no, that's not what it is. BCD, buoyancy control.
I took a scuba diving class. Those were fun, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but like I just there's too many things to think about. There's too many things that can go wrong. This isn't my house. I'm underwater. If I see a shark, I'm flipping out. Like, I just hate it. I hated it. But so like there's, you know, and that's like a small scale level of what I can imagine like training would be if you're going to war, where like you could actually get killed and you're actually killing people. And like, maybe you kill people you didn't mean to, you know. It's a really scary time. And you also have to look at the context of like, how old were you? You know, when you're usually young when you enter the military, you don't know what you want out of your life. And then you follow these rules.
I joined at 20 and then I left at 25.
That's so young. So, like,
I know.
I feel like
I feel like I'm like, right when I left, that's when I felt like I was like, I feel like now I'm becoming a grown up.
Yeah. Well,
even still, I'm still a little child.
I mean, that's good to remain a child. Because like because like once you lose that, I feel you're kind of just fucking dead.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for death.
That's why comedy's great, you know, because we're retaining that childlike play,
imagination and whatnot.
Exactly. And being able
to questions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, like, especially through all this stuff. I don't know about you guys, but it's like having to feel like just like sort of reevaluating what your priorities are, because it's gone to show how fast everything can go away and change, you know. And then in addition to the pandemic being now part of a situation that's like unprecedented politically in so many different ways, like, of course there's been racial tension and systemic racism and people protesting this way before this, but not as much on this scale and not having this bad of a reaction, at least that we've seen. And maybe just because now we can see so much more because of social media and stuff, it's a lot scarier and it's bringing a lot more people out. But just like so many things that are happening are like, okay, so what is really important? How do I survive? Like, you know, how do I keep my mental health intact when
that's the big one.
Yeah. When all this is happening, like you have to like cut yourself off from looking at it sometimes, but I want to know, and I also don't want to be blissfully ignorant just because I'm privileged enough to do so, you know? So it's like finding that line of being there and being part of it and doing what you can without going fucking nuts and being like, what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
What is it? Because I know on Instagram somebody sent me a video of a white dude getting shot, but the minute I saw what it was, I'm like, nope, I've had a good day. I can't see anybody get killed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I want people to stop sending me shit like that, but it's just, people are bonding over trauma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's cool that people are bonding, but that's not good.
Yeah.
It's fucking unhealthy
it's not the
as
only
shit.
way to bond.
No, it's not. So it's like, I told my friend, like a few of them, like, yeah, don't send me no shit like this. If you're going to send me something, it better be uplifting. But
yeah.
A video of kittens that are playing with dogs.
Yeah.
Or some dance videos. Yeah. Like, if you send me a dance video, I'll watch that shit with a smile on my face, like, word.
Yeah. Well, that's something though that is important. Like, I think it's good to be aware that these things are happening, but I'm also watching how much stuff like that I actually retweet, because I want to be retweeting stuff that has like action behind it more. Like if it's like, this thing is happening, you need to go here to make sure it doesn't, you know, or like the fact that they were protesting the evictions in I think it was in New Orleans, and they ended up like succeeding. I was like, this is awesome, you know, wanting to show that sort of shit versus just being like, oh my God, here's yet another person being killed or being an asshole or whatever. It's like, there's just too much of that.
Also, if you just see like just people getting abused by these quote unquote powers that be, you start to take on that victimhood as like, oh shit, am I next? When do I come? As opposed to like seeing the opposite is like, oh word, it is power to the people.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's gotta be a balance, but there's a reason why we're like, well, maybe I need a gun. Because it's just like it's like this is so many things that are happening that are.
I mean, what you guys are in LA? I would, if I was still there, I would have a gun already. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah. Mitchell's like, maybe I need something other than a Nerf gun. No.
I don't like promote fear. I'm not trying to promote fear. So it's like that's just.
No, it's just like that. That's the most annoying thing to me about. Well, not the most annoying, but one of the annoying things about the whole guns to protect against a tyrannical government thing is that all those people are just like
quiet
and back like that Homer gif backing into the bushes. I'm like, where the fuck are you now? Because it's happening.
They're real quiet,
and it's because what? Because like I'm not on speaking terms with a family member of mine. I had to block him because I was like, he's like a super 2A. Is a Trump supporter, but was like, he's an idiot, but I'll still vote for him because of my guns, all he cares about. And then I'm like, I remember just being like, hey, where are you now during this? Because this is exactly what you were afraid of. You should be arming the fuck up. And instead I was met with like, well, it's our fault in the blue states because we're acting up. And it's like,
I knew that.
How funny. How funny that now you changed it and now you're, you know, it's like, and like kind of almost like making a joke and laughing and being like, good luck getting one. You made your bed, now lie in it. And I'm like, I did not vote the fascist in. Thank you.
Okay. The big issue, how can he say that? That's family, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking insane to me that you chose a side over a fucking family member.
Yeah.
It is like, if fuck this left and right shit is like, yo, whatever happened to countrymen and unity? It's like, shit, I see there's like no fucking opportunity. So crime is on the rise in a sense. So that's where fucking Trump is sending these shits to where crime has already been an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no fucking jobs. It's like people were like out of business, like out of work for how long? Of course crime's gonna fucking go up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, and because of everything he's doing that's making people more angry, and they're trying to protect themselves because the only people being protected are mostly like the bigger businesses. And like, why are they making money when everybody's broke as shit? And
yo, how many people became billionaires doing this shit?
Right. I don't know how many, but too many. And I'm like, Operation Legend. Yeah. That's why you're holding your microphone in your hand, Mitchell. Okay. You don't have a mic stand. You're so rich. Oh, I love it. But no, really, like the Operation Legend thing is very scary. Like I read a whole thing about it, and like the fact that they're sending the feds in that are opening them up to just regular day-to-day cop duties is very scary. And that's like when I try to talk to this family member and be like, hey, forget left and right. Both sides are doing fuck shit right now. Okay. But can we at least get on the same page that this is exactly what you were afraid of and what you were worried about? And I was almost like, I was going to like ask for advice too on like, if I did get a gun, like what kind should I get if that person knows so much about it? And instead it turned into like, well, this is your fault. You should have And I was like, how about you go fuck yourself? And I'm not the one who voted this person in. And if you can't see that this person is fucked up and does not care about you, then I don't know what to tell you. Don't talk to me. The fact that happened was like really, really shitty. And yeah, it sucks, but I'm like, I'm not going to waste my energy. If you're like, have fun dying. I'm like, you think this is a joke, and it's not.
That's right. Question about that family member. Is he the type of one, whenever people would talk about the cops killing black people, he would have stats, will cops kill just as many white folks?
Yes.
And he's okay with that.
No, he'll say the right things like I believe George Floyd deserved justice. I believe this, but for him it always went back to statistics, and I was like, look, the statistics are read incorrectly and are also made by the people that are doing the stuff. So I don't trust the statistics as much, and I don't really care about the statistics because no matter even if I show you opposing ones, you're going to find the one part that makes them wrong just to make you right. And two, I'm talking about people. I don't care about the numbers. I'm going to say a bunch of names of people that I know that are black that have been killed by police that were innocent, and then I know that the fucking kid who went into a movie theater, a little white boy, shot it up, is alive to go to trial. And there's a fucking problem with that, you know?
Even the fucking dude who shot up the church.
Yeah. And I'm like, and let's not forget, the cops aren't supposed to kill anybody. So why are they're supposed to detain people so that they can have their due process and go to trial. Like, so arguing that they kill more white people. And then I was reading this stat too on like the white on white crime and black on black, like, you know, people never say white on white crime, first of all, but like definitely crime. White people kill more white people, black people kill more black people. But that's like a proximity thing, dude. Like they all live near each other, you know. That's why it's gonna happen that way, you know. But it's just all bullshit, and it's just, can we just like focus on the real issue, which is we literally have fascism slowly but surely taking over right now.
Wildness.
And people are still in denial. Like fucking Herman Cain dying from the Tulsa rally, and they're like, he had cancer. It's like, yes, at one point he did have cancer, and we did say that elderly people that also have had pre-existing conditions are more likely to die. So what we said happened, but that's your excuse for why it wasn't Trump's fault. Like the person that made them sign waivers, like how do you not get this through your head? Yeah. Are you guys dealing with any of this sort of stuff in your family? Because I know it doesn't always have to be white people that are disagreeing on it.
Not really, no. I just know no, not with my family.
Everybody's on the same page.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Same for mine too.
Yeah. I mean,
which is interesting. Have you had any black guests that had family members that were on opposing sides of the issue?
Yes, not necessarily opposing, but I've had guests that have had family members that are cops, and they're like, they're good cops and they believe they are, but in each case, they choose not to, they haven't broached the subject with them and are kind of like, and they're not like a close enough family member, I guess, that, but like where it becomes a conflict of interest, where it's like a black cop who clearly does believe Black Lives Matter and has been treated, you know, with racism and whatnot. But at the same point, it's like, can't be posting defund the police or fuck the cops or whatever.
Oh shit.
You know, like that's like a really hard place to be in. So I'm like, what's the conversation like? And mostly it's been, we don't really talk about it, you know? So.
When you said defund the police, it made me think of something that happened here in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Like where OU is, the campus of OU is like, I think it's Cleveland County or something. But this councilwoman, she took money away from the Norman PD. Like I can't remember how much money she took away from it, but a few days later, somebody raped her neighbor because they thought it was her to send a message for defunding the police. Yeah, happened in Oklahoma. Yeah,
I'm not surprised about that, and that's the problem. What concerns me is that I believe there are people that like join, you know, the forces because they do want to be helpful, but then once you're already in there and you realize the system is fucked, like you can look up so many cops that try to call out just police brutality or, you know, corruption within the system, and either they go missing or they get fired or something. And so it's like, what kind of a situation are you in where you know it's too intertwined and too scary
entanglement?
I
hate myself for saying that.
I know.
No,
but really, like, that's the fucked up part, is that's why it needs to happen, because it goes too deep. to just readjust. And, what was the other thing that just happened with, shit, because you mentioned the person getting killed, like with, damn it, I'm forgetting what I was going to say with the defunding, but, people don't want that. Oh yes, that's right. It was the journalists, like the cops the feds making lists of journalists who were talking against the president to take with them when they were going, like if they were at protests or if they were this or that, and they ended up reassigning like the head of what is it, the Homeland Security, right? Because that was what it was from. It was like Homeland Security started making a list of like journalists and people that were like on Twitter opposing or seen at protests, and like that's
scary.
That's some Hitler shit right there.
That shit
was
is
that why they were
scary.
trending recently? Defund the Homeland Security. Is that why it was trending the other day?
No, the Homeland Security was the guy that got reassigned, which I'm like, why are you not fired for doing this? This isn't part of your job to like target reporters and opposers of the current president. We've even got the guy that's the postmaster that they're trying to defund the post office. Huge Trump supporter. I'm like, I'm sorry, but the guy running the post office, who's for everybody, shouldn't have a particular candidate, and certainly shouldn't be trying to make it harder to get mail when we're trying to do vote by mail. So
what kind of money is he getting on the back end?
Exactly.
That's what you got to. If we were able to follow the money, we would see who's actually running this country, and that would solve so many issues.
Yeah.
So many.
Then we know where to take our pitchforks.
Yeah.
Right? Build a guillotine, which I'm a big fan of. It's like I don't like to promote killing, but I mean,
do it by guillotine. Yeah. Was
right?
it guillotine or guillotine?
Guillotine, however you want to say it. We all know what it is.
Yeah.
I think if Trump gets reelected, then I feel like the French Revolution thing will happen here.
Shit is going to pop off if he gets reelected because it's going to be some phony shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how does it pop? Well, how does it happen?
I think it's a lot of guns and rioting and civil war is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Because on my Facebook, people I went to high school with, it's like I've just been browsing through. One dude has been he's been making bullets and selling them. He's like, who needs this type of bullet? And people are like, I need that bullet. Like, who needs this? Who needs this? And I'm like, oh, this shit is crazy. And I'm just taking it all in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, shit's weird out here.
They're just making.
Wow, he found a market and he just went for it.
I'm making bullets.
Yeah, because they're hard to find. Like, there's like certain bullets are hard to find. I found this back even some years ago, like 2014. I went out to shot some shotguns, whatever. It was fun as fuck. But the dude's like, it's getting harder to find certain bullets. And even now, like fast forward to now, the dude's like, since the beginning of the pandemic, like certain guns are off the shelves because people are buying them up. It's like, so therefore ammunition is going to be gone. So if you know how to make it, you find yourself in an advantageous position for before and after. Because let's say shit hits the fan and everything crumbles, you're going to be wanted.
Yeah.
My squirt guns ran out of ammunition. Does he have water?
Fill it with urine.
I was about to say
urine.
That'll teach him.
For sure.
What is this? It's piss, bitch. You just ate
laced with acid.
It's delicious.
It's delicious. Oh my God. It's like people that buy those life straws so they can drink toilet water if necessary. I'm like, I don't wanna.
That's intense.
What?
Well, that's what you'll.
Are you serious?
That's what you'll need to do if we run out of water. This straw will filter it. But I'm like, I don't know that I can drink this doo-doo water and just trust it.
No.
I'd rather just die.
No. Knowing. No.
Oh my God. Oh man,
that would make a good sketch when it's like a dystopian post-apocalyptic and you have to use the straw.
Oh my God. Start coming up with some ideas here. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we've been on for a while, so if we want to start wrapping up, let's talk about your things you want to promote. So,
Michelle,
Mitchell, want to go first?
Okay. Yes, I am a stand-up comedian. You can find me online. I don't have a website yet. That's probably unprofessional, but I'll get to that soon. But I also have a podcast called RV Gone Too Far. The concept is there is no concept, which is probably me being lazy and not putting something together for it. But it's forming slowly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. Yeah.
I've been on. I don't know what happened to our episode of RV Gone Too Far.
Okay, so here's what happened. I had lost the SD card.
Oh my god.
That had like 7 episodes, but I found it recently. So yeah.
Oh, so it's back.
Yeah, I literally found it yesterday.
All right. Yay, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, damn, I do want to redo this, but then I got sick, and then there was like all these other issues. But yeah, from what I've listened to so far, I think it's hilarious, and just I like that it's kind of just flows wherever, because that's what you're like. Like you are just like and you're an entity that's entered the room. You're like, hello, yeah. I don't have to answer any questions because I don't know the answers anyway. Yeah,
but it still makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does. All right, Chandler, what do you got? And I'll put links to all this stuff in the show notes and stuff.
Okay.
Well, shit. Right now, nothing except for art, and it's just gonna be up in Oklahoma City. Well, actually, it just came down. So, at the moment, absolutely nothing except for commissions.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll share. Do you have? Should I just share your Instagram, and then they can contact you if they want to see your stuff?
Oh yeah, that works. And then website chandlerwatson.com. Oh shit, I'm working on a photo book. I almost forgot.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, so there's that.
But yeah, chandlerwatson.com, commissions, etc. You can see some of corners of his art in the background here. There was a time when you were doing some really cool designs on some shoes as well. I don't know if you're doing that anymore.
Oh, I'm still definitely doing that. I got to start a pair here in a little bit.
Oh, very
I've just
cool.
been staring at them for a while.
Yeah, I'll find some of this stuff and like pull it for the post when I promote it, so you guys can get some previews.
Right on.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking to me, guys. This was fun. Oh, I love it. I want it.
Fire. That's great. It's great.
Yay. All right.
I look like my last boyfriend. Actually
cool. I'm glad I got to talk to you. What?
Wait, what? Mitchell, what did you say?
I said that looks like my last boyfriend.
Yes. It's like very Picasso, but like with a Chandler twist. You got a very cool style. That. You got a very cool style. All right, guys. Thanks for talking. Good to see your faces. Hope to see you in public at some point and not during a civil war. All right. All right. Thanks to everybody for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Later,
bye, Jessica. Bye, Chandler.
Later, Mitchell. Later, Jessica.